Yes. So my topic is basically it's a timing of event through Prashna. So as you all know, we have a dedicated course for the Prashna Marg that is called Prashnium. So in which we are teaching the Prashna Marg as well as Krishnium. So we have collected a set of techniques and we are teaching them in our course. So from that same Prashna Marg, I have taken this technique which we will learn today. So basically, this is a Santati Prashna. Santati Prashna, chapter number 13, if you read B.V. Raman's Prashna Marg, volume 2. So there you will find a Santati Prashna chapter. So Santati means child, progeny Prashna. Question related to progeny or childbirth, how to cast that Prashna and how to answer all these things, either read in chapter number 13 of Prashna Marg. That chapter is a very detailed one. So I'm not going to cover each and every aspect of Santati Prashna today. So I am going to talk only about one shloka from that particular chapter. That chapter, if you read carefully, you will find at least 15 to 18 techniques. But I'm more concerned about only one shloka today. And this is a special kind of a technique in which you will merge both birth chart as well as Prashna chart. So generally, we have a techniques in which directly you can apply to Prashna chart, and some techniques we have which you can directly apply to birth chart. But in this Santati Prashna, we have to use both chart collectively, birth chart as well as Prashna chart. Okay, so before I start, there's one thing, like whenever we share any technique, like 2 weeks earlier, we have done a small webinar on YouTube. That video is already on YouTube, in which I have shared the uh, how to time and marriage through degree of lagna. Okay, so finding the degree of lagna, we can identify the marriage year. Now, when we teach those kind of techniques, you should understand those are a snapshot techniques. Okay, like this, we have many other techniques. In my Easy Predictive course, I have shared another degree-based technique, and there are some other techniques also. If you go and search on YouTube, timing of marriage book review, time-tested technique for marriage book review. I have done one book review. In that video also, we have shared one technique. So like this, if you see, we have numbers of techniques for the timing of marriage. Okay. Same techniques, if you modify, you can apply those techniques for the childbirth also, for job, for any event, you can use similar techniques. And the point is, whenever we teach those kind of techniques, people apply them and they say technique is not working because I am finding difference of 6 months, some say difference of 16 months, some say 2 years, 3 years, like this. So you have to understand these kind of techniques will help you to reach the nearer year. You will see the difference of 13 months, 14 months, 15 months, like this, sometimes 6 months, sometimes even 1 month. If we reach to that much of duration also, and then you can apply the other techniques, like we have Vimshottari Dasha, we have Bhrigu Chakra Paddhati, we have different techniques for the timing. Then you can apply after this snapshot technique, you can easily build. Okay. In same manner, today we are learning the technique in which we will merge both birth chart as well as Prashna chart, and then by using Ashtak Varga, we can time anyone. Okay, but before doing that, you should able to see the inherent yoga or combination of Santati or the progeny. There are different yogas. If you read our traditional classical books, DPHS, Faldipika, and Brihajata, we have many books. So if you read those classical books, so you will find combinations of Santati, combinations of progeny, whether it's a uh, delay in progeny, early, or what. So these kind of combinations, first you have to check in your chart, and then we can apply these techniques. If you are seeing the delay in progeny, so accordingly we can set our Vimshottari Dasha or whatever Dasha you are using. You can set your timings, like from which year to which year you can check. So first you have to check those yogas, and then you can apply these techniques. Okay. So now, before I talk about the actual technique, if you read the Prashna Marg, like Santati Prashna, Viva Prashna, this kind of chapters, so you will see author is talking about, is giving you instruction how to ask queries. If it's a marriage related Prashna, how to put a query, those things you can find in the beginning of chapter 1. Like we are talking about Santati, Santati means children, progeny. So here also author is giving you some instruction like how to ask a query. Okay. So in this, a query regarding children should be made just like, will this person name? You can put the name of that person born in the nakshatra of this, get a son from this woman named and born in this constellation. You should, it means the, if you're asking a question, you should clearly frame the question. In stanza 3, this query is regarding like when father is asking about his son, so he is referring to the woman or wife. But in case if person himself is the husband, he is asking for the uh, progeny, then also he can frame question in similar manner. His name, nakshatra, and all these things, and then ask questions. Okay, this is a system how to ask query. If query is not clear, then that prashna is not complete. That's why we call it Santati Prashna. It means whatever Prashna you create after listening this question, so that whole chart will speak only about the progeny. What is Santati? That's why we call it Santati Prashna. If you read the Vivaha Prashna chapter, similar rules are given for the Vivaha question also. That means if you're asking a question related to marriage, it means whatever chart you create at that moment, the whole chart will only speak about the marriage. Okay, marriage, the bride, groom, and all people, all relatives, all these things you can see from the single chart. So it means if I am creating a progeny related Santati Prashna, whatever I'm looking into this chart, that chart will give you the complete idea of progeny. Okay, this is what this chapter is giving us hint. So today's topic is a little bit uh, uh, big topic. So I will not discuss all these things, Lagna, Aruna in very detailed manner, but I will give the rough idea. Okay. Santati Prashna is applicable to both husband and wife. Okay. Lagna signifies matters pertaining to the husband, and Aruda Lagna reveals everything about the wife. Okay, this is a view of a Prashna Sangraha. Now, Lagna and Aruda Lagna, there are two factors here. Okay, Lagna we know, Udaya Lagna. Aruda Lagna, how to decide Aruda Lagna and all, this is a big discussion, but I will not go into very detail. Some different systems to select Aruda Lagna. Arudha Lagna. That you can refer to chapter and then you can select it. So through Arudha Lagna, we can know everything about the wife. And through Lagna, we can know the everything about the husband. So this is how we can divide our Prashna chart. Okay, if both the lords of Arudha and the ninth from it are in combustion, there is something wrong in the womb of wife. Okay, ninth house, we call it Kshetra. Prashna Marga, it's mentioned. See, this stanza number 5, we are referring to Arudha. And from Arudha, in stanza number 4, you can read Arudha Lagna reveals everything about the wife. Okay, now from Arudha Lagna, if ninth house is afflicted, especially ninth house is in combustion, or if you see the major affliction in ninth house, we can say something wrong with the Kshetra of life. Kshetra means the womb of life. Same things you can check through Lagna also. If you see anything in Lagna, like fifth house from Lagna. Fifth house is why fifth house? Fifth house shows the seed. Okay, there is a concept of Bij and Kshetra. I think everybody know about Bija Sfuta, Kshetra Sfuta. There's a concept in Prashna Marga. So Bija part you can see from the Lagna, fifth house from Lagna, and the Kshetra part you can see ninth house from the Aruna. If you see the affliction in both levels, then the problem with both husband and wife. If you see ninth house afflicted from Aruna, it means there is a problem in the womb of Kshetra of wife. Or else if you see the fifth house afflicted from the Lagna, we can say there is a problem with the seed of husband, Bija. This thing also we can calculate mathematically with Bija Sfuta and Kshetra Sfuta, and we can check the affection on these Sfuta. We can also decide whether there is a possibility of progeny or not. This is a very detailed thing, but I'm just giving you a rough idea so that you will have some background. Now I will give you some combinations that does not indicate the birth of children. Like in the beginning, I told you first you need to check the whole combination in chart. Okay, so there are many other combinations also, but I'm referring only to combinations here. But you can make a list of other combinations from the Prashna Marga. So now the first one is if moon occupies the third, sixth, 10th, and 11th from the Arudha Lagna. Okay. And the second, fourth, fifth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 12th house from the ascendant. Then it can create problem in the birth of children. Now again here we are referring Arudha and Lagna different. From Arudha, the moon position of 3, 6, 10, 11 shows problem with female, wife. Second, fourth, fifth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 12th house moon position from the ascendant show the problem with husband. Okay. Now, if Arudha Lagna is a feminine sign and the Prashna Lagna is a masculine sign, then also it will create trouble. Okay. Now, this combination is applicable for Prashna chart only, not for the birth chart. Okay, and here Aru Lagna is not that Gemini system Aru. This is a different Aru Lagna. So there is another combination for the childlessness, or we can say the deny of progeny. If Jupiter and the Lord of Lagna, the Lord of fifth and seventh are weak, all are weak, the questioner will have no children. This is again you can apply in Prashna chart. So before predicting the timing of progeny and all, you should check all these small combinations in chart. Why Jupiter is important? Because Jupiter is the Karaka of progeny, or children. That's why we have taken the Jupiter here. Lord of Lagna is important. The Lords of fifth and seventh, if all are weak, then the questioner will have no children. Here, seventh is mentioned, but seventh as well as you can take ninth house. Okay. This is another combination. If malefics are in the fifth and the Lord of fifth house is hemmed between malefics, it means this is talking about Papa Kadakari Yoga and is devoid of benefic aspect, then childlessness will result. So in the here in the example chart, you can see if malefics are in the fifth house, Sun Rahu in fifth house, okay, the Lord of fifth house is hemmed between malefic. Lord of fifth house here in this chart is Venus. Venus is hemmed between Mars and Rahu, and Venus is not having any benefic aspect. But then we can say this is a case of denial of children or delay of children. Then you don't need to check further for the timing of progeny. Okay, so you have to check before applying these techniques, which I'm going to reveal now. Now, this shloka number 70 is what I'm going to talk about. So this is a whole technique. Before this, whatever we have seen, those are just combinations which you should check before applying this technique. Okay, don't apply this technique blindly. First check the combinations of progeny, then apply this. Okay, now understand this technique very carefully. Shloka number 70 says of Prashna Marga, it says, in the Ashtak Varga of Sun, Moon, Jupiter, in the horoscope of couple, note the sign which should be trinal place from Golika. Okay, which has the largest number of marks or bindus. When the Sun, Moon, Jupiter transit such a sign, birth of child takes place. This is the whole technique. Now this looks little bit confusing, but I will explain these things in detail. Now here author is talking about the Ashtak Varga of Sun, Moon and Jupiter, all three Ashtak Varga. First you have to understand why Ashtak Varga of Sun, Moon and Jupiter. Okay, why importance is giving only to Sun, Moon, Jupiter, why not other planets? Okay, first thing is Ashtak Varga of Jupiter. Author is saying first note down, first go and check the birth chart of couple. Okay, birth chart of male and female. Let's say if you are seeing the horoscope of husband, go and check the birth chart of husband, see the Jupiter's Ashtak Varga, Guru Ashtak Varga, and check which in Ashtak Varga which sign is having maximum points, maximum bindus. Okay, note down that sign. Okay, and in Prashna chart, the Prashna chart which you have casted. Okay, note the sign which should be trinal place from the Gulika. It means in Prashna chart you have to see where Gulika is located in Prashna chart. Okay, now mark that sign. Also trinal signs from the Gulika. Okay, mark these three signs and check these three signs in Ashtak Varga of birth chart of Jupiter. Now you have three signs in Jupiter Ashtak Varga. Just check which sign is having a maximum number. Okay, you got, let's say you have got Aries and Leo. These two signs having a maximum number. Okay, now in Prashna chart, just see Aries and Leo. When Jupiter transit on this Aries and Leo, which is having a maximum points in the Ashtak Varga of birth chart, at that year progeny will take place. Birth of child will take place. So Jupiter Ashtak Varga points will give you the year of birth, year of childbirth. This is the importance of Jupiter Ashtak Varga. Now, when you apply the same technique in Sun Ashtak Varga, in Surya Ashtak Varga, the Surya Ashtak Varga will give you the month of childbirth. And same technique when you check in Chandra Ashtak Varga, in Moon Ashtak Varga, that will give you the day of childbirth. Okay, that's why author is talking about the Sun, Moon, and Jupiter, three Ashtak Varga. I hope this is clear. This technique, the concept of technique is clear. So now I will show you example chart. I will not talk about Sun, Moon, all Ashtak Varga in this session. I will take only one example with the Jupiter Ashtak Varga. Okay, but I will show you the example charts. You can check it. You can apply this technique and test it on Sun and Moon also. It works, but to keep this lecture short, I am taking only Jupiter Ashtak Varga in this lecture. So before I go to example chart, any doubt here? Any doubt till now? Any doubt why we are talking about Sun, Moon, and Jupiter Ashtak Varga? I think no doubt. Okay. So, Neeraj, you can show the first Prashna chart.
First Prashna chart or chart? Should I share first Prashna chart?
Yes, yes. First one.
This is.
Let me check it. Okay. So this is a Prashna chart. 7, 15, 20. Okay. You can note down these Prashna details if you want. And can anybody tell me in this Prashna chart where is Gulika?
In sixth house.
Sixth house in Aries sign.
In Aries.
Aries sign. So that technique which we have seen in our presentation slide, author is saying first you have to note down where Gulika is sitting in chart. So in Prashna chart, we have seen here Aries sign. Okay, so note down the Aries sign. Now author is saying triangle from the Gulika. Triangle from Aries means Leo, Sagittarius. So we have to note down all three signs. Okay. Okay. Now Neeraj, go to birth chart. First birth chart. Gulika and the triangle from Gulika. You have to note down all these three signs. And now we will check Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius sign. All these three signs we will check the Ashtak Varga. Ashtak Varga of Jupiter first. But we are concerned about the year of childbirth. So we will check the Jupiter's Ashtak Varga in this chart. So this is a chart, 12th of August 1988, 11:50 morning time. Okay. Yes, can you show the Ashtak Varga of Jupiter? You have to scroll down the screen. Yes. Can all able to see it? Jupiter Ashtak Varga. Let me mark it.
Yes, sir.
This is Ashtak Varga of Jupiter. Okay, so we are more concerned about the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius sign. So Aries sign means 7th house, Leo means 11th house, Sagittarius Dhanu Rashi means 3rd house. So in this Ashtak Varga, you can see Aries sign is having a 6 point, Leo is having 5 points, and Sagittarius is having 3 points. So we will not consider Sagittarius sign. So this is having a less point. Okay. So we'll take only Aries and Leo. Clear? This is a birth chart. Okay. So now we have Aries and Leo. Now we will go back to our Prashna chart, and when Jupiter moves or when Jupiter impact in transit Aries and Leo, at that particular year, childbirth will take. Simple. Now we will cross check it in our Prashna chart. Here is एक बार Prashna chart दोबारा. This is a Prashna chart. Okay. So from birth chart, we have noted down Aries and Leo only. Sagittarius is not performing well. So we will not consider Sagittarius here. So simply we can see Aries sign falling in the 6th house, Leo sign in the 10th house. Whenever Jupiter comes into transit in Aries or Leo or aspect this Rashi, this house, we can predict the year of childbirth during that particular year. Okay. So right now in this Prashna, this Prashna is generated on 3rd June 2020. Okay. And 7:15 p.m. So at that time, Jupiter, Saturn both are in Capricorn. Okay, now from Capricorn sign, Jupiter is neither aspecting Aries nor Leo. Okay, in order to have some influence of Jupiter transit on Leo and Aries, we have to wait till Jupiter moves to the which sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. When Jupiter moves to Aquarius sign, it will automatically aspect
Leo.
Leo. At that time, we can say this is the year in which childbirth will take place. Okay. This how you can predict the year. Now, if you apply the same rule like Aries, we are checking Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay. If you go in that same chart and check the Sun Ashtak Varga, in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, out of these 3 signs, which is having a maximum number, and come back to Prashna chart here. See here which of these signs is having maximum number. Whenever Sun transit in Prashna chart to that particular sign, that month will show the birth of child. Okay, but for now this is irrelevant to check Sun transit, because until and unless if year is not defined, there is no point of checking Sun and Moon. Okay, because that shloka is talking about 3: Sun, Moon, and Jupiter Ashtak Varga. So it doesn't mean you have to check all these 3 things parallelly. No. Until and unless if Jupiter is not agree for that particular event, no need to check Moon and Jupiter, Moon and Sun. Okay, so we can create a Prashna chart again for this native. When Jupiter moves to Aquarius, after that we can call him again and then create a Prashna chart, and then we can check the Sun Ashtak Varga. Are you able to understand the flow, how we are going arriving to that point. Any doubt in this example? Any doubt they can ask.
Sir,
Yes,
you said the sun transit, the way how we did for Jupiter, in the same way we did for sun also, sun
Sun
Ashtavarga. Even for moon also the same, sir?
same thing. But before going to moon, see, moon will give you 2.5 days of
Yes,
duration.
yes, yes.
Okay. So before checking the moon Ashtak Varga, first you need to be confirmed
Confirm in sun
Jupiter,
Ashtavarga.
Jupiter and Sun, then only go to moon.
Yeah, yeah.
If you directly go to moon,
Oh.
it will create confusion.
Okay.
Vinayak sir,
Haji.
this would be the same like you taught us in the timing tested technique for the marriage. So this in this also like we can even apply for the other purpose of like marriage and maybe for the job using this particular
Yes,
pattern, this
see,
particular
that
pattern.
in that book review video, the technique was different. In that book, we are adding this Suta, okay, longitude of
Yeah,
Lagna and seventh house. So here we are not
right,
adding anything. We are just checking Ashtak Varga. Simple. Okay. But
right, sir.
but
Right.
the thing is, if you are understanding the whole concept, you can
Right, sir.
understand this is not only applicable for the progeny. You can apply
Exactly, that's my point, sir.
yeah, you can apply the same thing for profession, for
I mean, sir, for Ashtak Varga 10th house, we can take and we can even look Saturn transit and then probably then uh, Saturn Ashtak Varga and then
no, you have not understood this concept till now. Not you don't need Saturn Ashtak Marga. Okay, see why Jupiter, Sun, Moon, why we are talking about these Ashtak Marga?
progeny.
Because these are denoting the time duration. Jupiter for 1 year, Moon for 2.5 days, and Sun for month.
Right, sir.
If you go and check this Saturn Ashtak Varga, then you are checking the 2.5 years of duration.
Right. Sir, for profession, I'm talking about like for profession, if somebody is
For profession, simply you can check the position of Gulika. Okay,
okay.
check where Gulika is sitting. Check the triangle
Right, sir.
position.
Right, sir.
Okay,
Right, sir.
and triangle position and check the Ashtak Varga. Simple, you
Right.
can check here. But now
Same
the
Ashtak Varga, same, sir. Jupiter, Sun, Sun and
same,
Moon, same Ashtak Varga.
same. But the question is, then what is the difference between both? Because in both cases we are checking the position of Gulika and triangle.
Right, sir.
Then how will you differentiate whether it's for a progeny related question or for a job? How will you decide it? Can anybody tell me?
Sir, from here, the triangle will be taken.
From?
No, sir.
Based on the question by the queryist.
Yes.
Based on that only will do.
That's why we call it Santati Prashna. We have defined very specifically the name Santati Prashna. It means as an astrologer, if I am sitting in my chamber and you are approaching me and you are asking a question related to progeny. So whatever question I create at that moment, that is only dedicated for the progeny part.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are asking me a question related to Vyavasaya Prashna, okay, or professional questions, then at that time, when I create a Prashna chart, that Prashna will speak only about your profession.
Got it.
Then when I check the Gulika and triangle thing,
Same, sir.
I will reach to your job question automatically.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so
Thank you.
that's why this Prashna Marga, this chapter or Vivaha Prashna chapter is very clear about this thing. They are very strict about asking question, how to ask question, how to frame question. Okay, because your consciousness will flow like that, no? Then your
Thank you, sir.
Prashna will speak on those topics. But if you mix all these things in one Prashna, then this Ashtakara technique is useless. So this is not
Right.
specifically saying to check the Ashtakara of 7th house. No? I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So Jignesh, Boli.
Yeah. So when Jupiter aspects Gulika, in the Prashna chart, that is when from that time onwards we have to predict, let's say 280 days and say that, the
No,
child will be
Jupiter
born.
aspecting Gulika is not required. No? We are not talking about Jupiter aspect on Gulika. I am saying
The Lord,
Gulika and
the sign Lord.
trinal from Gulika.
Final. Okay.
And out of
Aspect,
these three
final.
signs,
Yeah.
trinal means you will get the three signs. And out of these three signs, which the sign which is showing the maximum number in
Sorry,
Ashtaka,
that. Okay.
only on that sign when Jupiter transit,
Okay.
that
Okay.
time your wish will fulfill.
Okay.
But what
So,
kind of wish, that depends upon the nature of Prashna.
okay. So I wrongly put the question. So after that point, we have to then consider 9 months for the actual childbirth. That is when the event will actually uh, start.
Conceive, conceive,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
it will conceive.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now again, this conceiving part and the delivery part also depends upon the question who is asking you question.
Hmm.
If
Okay.
you ask questions like she's already conceived, but I want to know when, then we can expect delivery.
Acha.
Now in those kind of questions, you don't need to check Jupiter. Nothing logical, you don't need Jupiter Ashtak Varga. You can directly go to Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon Guru. Oh, yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, Dipesh, you can unmute.
Namaste, Vinayakji. So you said that first we check for Jupiter. So at that time itself, in the first Prashna, can we also simultaneously look at Sun and Moon to give the more accurate date, or does it have to be only in the
Yes.
second time when they ask the Prashna?
Yeah. No, see, if Jupiter is showing you, the Jupiter, like in this chart, Jupiter is not showing the current year. Okay, that's why I have not checked the Sun and Moon. But let's say if Jupiter is in 10th house, in 4th house, it means Jupiter aspect Varga is agreed for this event. It means this year this event can take place. Then I can check Sun and Moon.
Okay, but if we know that, say, like right now, Jupiter is in Capricorn because it's retro, maybe in a few months' time when it goes to, I think it's due to go in after 2 months or so into Aquarius, right? So can we not then look, like from now itself, look at, okay, so after Jupiter goes into Aquarius, then Sun will go around.
You can check.
We can do that, right?
Maybe we can do that. Because we already know Jupiter will know the next 1 or 2 months in the
Yeah. Like we could look at the, based on the transits, what planets will be at which point at that time.
You can check it. Okay. Any other doubt? Yes, Jignesh, Boli. Okay. So Jyoti is asking, so the Rashis will be same for all three Sun, Moon and Jupiter, yes. Because Rashis we are deciding from the position of Gulika. So that is fixed. Like in this case, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius is fixed. You have to just check the same signs in Jupiter Ashtak Varga, Sun Ashtak Varga and Moon Ashtak Varga. Simple. Okay.
Sir, can we take it this way when Jupiter is going over its kaksh in that particular sign, and if there are points, then can that also be used to time it?
Yes. See, I am just giving you the broad idea. Okay, but if you want to exactly the pinpoint day, date, and all these things, so obviously we need to check the degree wise. You have to check the Prashna degree, in which degree the ascendant is rising. When Jupiter in transit reach to that ascendant degree, or at least aspecting from that degree, then we can say yes, this is a particular phase from which we can expect the result. But overall, Jupiter is giving you the 1 year duration. Now, out of that 1 year, you have to check Sun and Moon. Now, the degree wise thing is applicable for the Moon transit more accurately as compared to Jupiter. So Jupiter will give you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other doubts? I think technique is very easy, simple, but again, I'm suggesting you all, before directly you apply this technique, check the combinations of progeny in the birth chart first. Okay, then create Prashna chart, then apply this technique. Okay, this is the whole process which you should follow. This is mentioned in the Prashna Marga and Santati Prashna itself. Okay, so you can apply the same technique for the profession as well as for marriage, for any event. Okay, so if no question, then I can end my lecture here, and we can invite our next speaker.